Exactly 1 year ago, I started self improvement. I can remember it like crazy. It was the 14th of December, and I decided to not play video games anymore till the vacation. I decided not to eat any cookies anymore till the vacation because then it's like Christmas and stuff, right? I committed to that, committed to exercise. Now it's 1 year later. I've been through a couple of exercising phases, gone to a couple of purpose-ish phases as well. Can almost not imagine a couple of months back. This is what I want to learn. And mainly want to learn two main things. One, is that the future version of you is gonna exist. And two, that you can only get true freedom when you go through commitment. Without commitment, there is no true freedom. Now, let's first see my story. I decided at the 14th of December, the day before, I was binge watching lots of Hamza and Better IDs about dopamine detoxing and other things about quitting video games and sugar and stuff. And I did. It went very good. I was doing like 200 like shitty push-ups, which shitty push-ups are fucking easy, right? So I was like doing like 200 of those, doing 300 squats, 200 lunges, these kind of things, right? And I was doing that every day, no rest, which if I have no rest, you do know that if I have no rest, it's like these exercises probably were not done properly, which they were not. So I did that for a bit, got back to video games for a week. I was like, no, fuck that, that's not what I did, no, that's not what I want to do, quit that again. Bought some weights, started doing some movements, I guess, started watching some fitness exercises and decided to make a PPL routine, I think. No, not even PPL, it was like legs, arms, and then torso. So arms, right, for like a wrist, not like forearm, bicep, and triceps. The torso is like abs, chest, and back, and then the legs. Now, this was not a good split, don't copy it, but that's what I was started with. So I did that for a couple of good months. I was grinding on programming as well. I was making video games. I was making video games, but not playing them. So I was making some crazy cool video games, all by myself, following tutorials and stuff. And then eventually also like actually just my own games. And I published them, not on Steam or anything, but just like on itch.io. That was great and all. I made a PPL routine eventually, which is push-pull legs instead of like torso, arms, legs, which I know how I came up with that, but alright. I was doing that pull-ups and stuff as well. I was mainly doing weighted exercises like gym stuff, and I was still programming loads. Now I was beginning to stop programming as much, and then I started a YouTube channel like this one, and I was uploading on that consistently, like quite consistently, right? From around about April, I think, yeah. And I started gardening. I planted loads of radishes. We had like almost too much radishes for us to handle for about a month. Not anymore though, but like for about a month we had too much radishes to even eat. Not that we stored them or anything, I just gave them out to school and stuff. Which of course, like if you did give them out like that, they're not gonna like last very long. But I mean, that's what I did. Then planted some lettuce, and then eventually pumpkins, which if you know my journey, like I got tons of them. Now they still have like, well, only eaten 1/3 of all the pumpkins, and it's now December. It's December and we only ate around 1/3 of the pumpkins or so. Maybe half. Maybe half. it's we got loads of them. Also planted beans, which provided loads. But yeah, that's my whole planning thing. Now back to summer and back to like my YouTube channel and stuff and my more mindset. I was following a program by someone else, and I loved that. For a bit, I did that every day or so, following the program, making YouTube videos pretty much every day. And then I made my own PPL program, which is push-pull legs. I still grind on YouTube a lot, stopped programming, and then school hit again. And I first thought I would want to commit to social skills. Immediately after day one or so, I was like, no, that's not going to work out. So I committed to calisthenics, or not calisthenics, to exercise. I wanted first, my kind of thing in exercise was like, I want to build a good V taper, right, the muscle specifically. After a month or so, I was like, that's a bit. I know I'm a bit past that now. Not that I have a good torso specifically, but I'm past that now. It's like, and I'm like, there's more to this exercise thing than just building muscle. So I went to calisthenics, and I started doing calisthenics, but not a lot. I did maybe 1/3 calisthenics, and as you may know from my previous videos, I did used to do 1/3 calisthenics, like weight training, a couple of months back. Then it was one half weight training and 1/2 calisthenics, and now it's all calisthenics, maybe 1/10 weight training by doing like bench press and stuff. But that's it basically. Bench press, squat, maybe weighted squat, maybe weighted rows, but like that's really once a week, right? So now it's 1/10 weight training, but then I just started to go into calisthenics. So what, 1/4 calisthenics or so. Did that for a bit. Decided like calisthenics is actually very good. I want to commit to calisthenics. So I did more calisthenics, then decided to learn the muscle up and the handstand. I was really into that. But I don't think I had the best approach learning the muscle up and the handstand. So it was kind of like a waste of time, but it was a big learning lesson as well. So now I'm still learning the muscle up and the handstand, but I think I have a better understanding of how to actually unlock it. Because I was literally just trying to pop out some banded muscle ups, but that's not going to make you feel lighter when you're doing it without a band, right? So completely didn't do that right. But that's alright, right? That's a learning lesson. That's like the story that puts me to today. I've committed to calisthenics, committed to a garden, committed to like gardening, and semi-committed to this YouTube channel. Committed, probably. Now, there are two things that I really wanna give you out of that. If you watch this till this point, it's like, wow, you've helped my entire story. But I want to show you two very important points that you gotta take away. Point number one. Your future self is gonna exist. And one day, you will be your future self. It's a point that I would like to extend upon in a couple of weeks, but you know that you're probably not gonna die soon. You're young. You're probably not gonna end up on a bus anytime soon. You're probably not gonna get any heart attack anytime soon. So why hide yourself from reality? Technically, you could die, right? You could die the next day. So even if you might die the next day, it's like even if you could die any time, like soon, right? Why would you then want to hide yourself in a virtual reality, not in the current moment in time? And if you knew that in the future you would be like living as well, like in a year, why wouldn't you want to make the future self of you better? Why wouldn't you want to make the future version of you proud that you committed to calisthenics? Even you might did not have the good like learning path to learning skills. It's like you still committed, and I'm still like I got that experience. I now know that the muscle up isn't achieved by just trying to do banded muscle ups for weeks. I now know it's like you gotta master your pull ups and dips first. But that's a learning lesson, right? If I didn't do that, I wouldn't have known. I would have just been kept on doing banded muscle ups forever. Now, I still like to do them because like I feel very light doing them, but it's not the right approach. So just know that the future version of you is gonna be that, and you better make his life great or her life great. Because you could be here right now, going on, hopping on your little PC, starting out Fortnite or League of Legends or something, but that's not gonna make your future self any better, really. It's gonna probably make him worse. Why would you want that? Why would you want to make the future version of you great? Why wouldn't you? Because it's too hard right now? Who cares? Because it's hard to stop playing video games, because it's enjoyable? Who cares? The future version of you is gonna care. He's gonna be there with this fat stomach, having almost no control of his body, being video game addicted, watching like drinking some like almost poisonous like sugar drinks and some weird chemical cookies and shit. Do you want that to be you? Because if you're still playing video games and watching TikTok and eating these unhealthy foods, that might be you. That might be you in a year. Like, I don't know if you have looked, but in a year's time, lots can change. A year ago, I wasn't able to do a proper push-up. Right now, I've mapped out everything I'm going to do for the next 3 years in terms of my bodyweight training, and I know that in 3 years' time, I literally wrote down, I don't know what else is up there. I am excited to learn. In 3 or 4 years' time, I wrote down, I don't know what is left anymore. I literally wrote down crazy shit I cannot imagine what kind of skills I would learn then. Now, I could be a bit disappointed at myself a year ago and be like, why didn't you do that then? That would have sped up my progress in calisthenics loads, but I first needed a bit of experience in the gym and some other kind of calisthenic-y things, right? Before I could make that commitment, really. So just keep in mind that the future version of you is gonna exist, and you might as well make him proud of you. You might as well make his life better. Not just better, but fucking great. But so awesome. If I think of me in 3 years' time, I will have this. I can't even imagine how gorgeous my garden would be, how abundant it would be, and how cool things I would be able to do with my body, like planches or something. When I'm doing stuff today, literally before I recorded this video, I was practicing my handstand because it's shit as fuck, but I was practicing it. And by doing that, I would be able to unlock my handstand push up in probably like a year or two, not a year, sorry, a year time. So it's like, keep in mind, he or she is going to exist in the future. And you might as well, no, you need to make sure that your life is great then. Because right now, it's not. Right now, it could have been a lot better. But the least thing you can do is make the life of your future better. Because you cannot make the life of you right now better, can you? You better focus on your future self and make that life good. Because I won't lie, my life right now isn't that bad, but it's still not as I would dream my life to be in 2 years. It will be loads different. Even in a year, even in 6 months, it will be loads different. Yeah. The next point was freedom through commitment. I talked a lot about committing myself to calisthenics, because if I just do weights and calisthenics and this, a bit of CrossFit, a bit of high intensity training, a bit of everything, spreading my focus on everything, I wouldn't achieve loads. I would probably not even progress in them a lot. Because I'm doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that. It's like my energy is spread through all of them. And that's not very optimal for like learning and stuff. Because if you only commit to one thing, you have loads of freedom almost. Like it gives loads of more freedom because you have less choices. If you get what I mean. It's like having less choices weirdly gives you more freedom, gives you more happy with the choices you made, right? If you would have this, like 3 candies, right? Like if I give to you a plate with 3 candies on, you got to choose 1 candy, right? And you choose, for example, the strawberry candy. You're like, yeah, that's tasty. I love that. The other 2, I know that it will probably not be as good as a strawberry one. Boom. But if I would give you this big ass plate with like 300 different kinds of candy, and you can only pick one. You picked it, and you're just like, You're like, maybe these other 10 would have been better. Maybe that one would have been twice as good. And you're kind of overthinking that, and it's like a weird thing where the more things to choose from, it actually worse for your mental health and for the actual choice you made. So committing yourself to one thing is way better for your mental health, believe it or not, for your progress, and for the right of decision, like how accurate your decision is going to be in that category. So for example, in calisthenics, you're really only, like every move in calisthenics is going to support another move in some way, right? Learning the muscle up is going to set the foundation for any other dynamic exercise or like bar exercise. Learning the handstand is going to set the foundation for being able to do like shoulder pressuring exercises like the planche or stuff, or handstand push-up. Pretty much no path in calisthenics is wrong, right? But like you will progress in that. But if you have chosen like loads of big weird categories like gym, calisthenics, high intensity training, CrossFit, I want to be a professional CrossFit player, Ninja Warrior, you're not going to make any progress in loads of them, right? So that's kind of what I wanted to say in this 20-minute video. I hope you got something out of this. It might be a bit long, but yeah. Till the next one. Mwah!